mark.
I'm ready, man. Ready to get it on. Go!
Hello Trophy Hunters, it's that time of year and this is the only game that has given me that spooky feeling that I love so much. Welcome to the dark, gloomy and terrifying platinum of Aliens Dark Descent. A game worthy of your time and one that finally does the Aliens franchise justice. And I'm surprised that it's Aliens Dark Descent, a real-time tactics game released last year. Never have I felt so much dread and stress in a game based on aliens before. And that plural is extremely important. Alien Isolation is king, taking first-person survival horror to unseen heights, if you're not IGN that is. I couldn't be happier that it's getting a sequel, but Aliens itself has always fallen a bit short in the video game department. This is mostly the fault of Aliens Colonial Marines, which received widespread disdain. But even before then, the Marines appeared in several Aliens vs Predator games. The campaigns present there were often the highlight for me, showcasing glimpses of what a full-fledged Aliens game could be like. 2010's AVP especially did a good job, but the Marines had to compete with the other species' single-player stories, so it was never truly its own thing. Colonial Marines did its best to butcher the franchise, only for Isolation to put it back on track. Then came along the decent Fireteam Elite, a worthy effort and really good platinum in its own right, requiring strict teamwork and strategy. The graphics are good, the weapons feel great, and I just love the different types of aliens you face. And for it featuring some unexpected Prometheus tie-ins, but I never felt dread or hopeless playing it, and that's what I want from Aliens. It's just cool and does deliver on some of that spooky Aliens vibes, especially in its downtime, but mostly its action. Mostly. It just didn't quite hit the horror, sci-fi vibes I was looking for. And that's where Dark Descent swoops in. It grabbed me from the get-go with its story, reminding me of the comics and novels I read when I was younger. It makes such good use of atmosphere and music. Every movement is dangerous, as alerting the aliens can spell death for your squad. You want to avoid combat in this game. The aliens are actually scary. It actively discourages you from engaging the beasties. You're much better off not fighting them, because when you fight, you are at a disadvantage, unless you have the time, resource and tactics to prepare. I love it, I couldn't stop playing, and of course I wanted the platinum. So Dark Descent has 46 trophies, 14 of them are unmissable and story related, 4 difficulty related, 4 collectible related, and with the remaining 24 being good old miscellaneous. The gameplay is mission based, with you preparing your squad and loadouts before you send them out. This is most comparable to XCOM, but that's where the comparisons end, as the real-time movement in the field couldn't be any more different to XCOM's slower and turn-based combat. You can also leave a mission and come back to give your squad a breather, which is recommended because they gain stress and trauma. Accumulate enough of that silliness and your squad is rewarded with negative traits. These traits are randomly assigned and every Marine starts with a negative personality trait to go on top. They can degenerate into some really nasty habits if left unchecked. The variety in these effects surprised me. I had one guy who was afraid of fire, another would freak out if we had no bandages on hand. My main badass smart gunner, she would start a brawl and lose HP were they to rest whilst on a mission. One absolute spanner of a medic would steal supplies at the end of a mission for himself, which I needed to upgrade weapons and teach Marines new positive skills. Managing these stress and trauma effects is key to succeeding. You can allocate rest back at base, get them to pop pills for a quick fix, or allow them to rest in secure locations whilst on missions. In a very aliensy move, you can secure rooms by welding doors shut. This secures a safe room as a shelter. Rest becomes available, reducing stress and allowing you to continue for a little bit longer. If you have supplies, that is. Medical, ammo, and resource are used for healing, shooting, blowing up walls, hacking, and welding. It's a lot to juggle, and that's before even the combat starts. You control all 4 Marines as one entity. Classes do make a difference, as do their loadouts. It's just very streamlined so that the best Marine for the job does the action assigned. Command points are then used for your combat maneuvers, which range from pulse rifle grenades, flamethrowers, and proximity mines. One of the most important commands is suppressive fire, which slows down aliens in the fire cone, allowing you to pick them off more efficiently. It is integral to use wisely, as are the sentry guns, which can effectively double a squad's firepower when fully positioned. All these things will need line of sight. Command points regenerate over time, but you always have less than you need as the alien onslaught continues. During the campaign, you'll want to be mindful of a few trophies to make things easier later on. Perfect Organism. Complete the game on No One Can Hear Them Scream mode. This is a modifier separate from the easy, normal, hard difficulties that limits the number of autosaves available. It might be best to enable first if playing on a lower difficulty. I ended up doing this on Nightmare for my second playthrough.
Absolutely badasses! Let's pack them in! Get in there!
Flawless victory. Keep all of your Marines alive during the campaign. Much easier said than done, because things can go wrong very quickly. Saying that, I managed to do this on my first playthrough. I played very carefully and was able to reload if anything drastic happened. Even with the reloads, this whole trophy was a bit of a nightmare. I actually had thought I failed it, as a daily event at base made me kill one of my own Marines because he was a traitor. I had read in the guide that this voided out the trophy, but it ended up being fine, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Archivist. Gather all data pads. Collectibles that usually got my Marines close to dying. There are a huge 123 data pads in this game, especially for a game that is stressful going from point A to B. Thankfully, they are easy to track in the mission select screen so you know which ones are missing, but the flip side of that is there are a lot of missables. Missions 3, 4, 8 and 11 all feature locations that you cannot return to, so be very mindful of this. They also do not carry over to a new game plus, and there is no chapter select available, so you really have to do it all in one run. Perfect enhancements. Unlock every Xenotech. Collectibles that you research and then get passive bonuses for your next mission. There are 10 of these to be found, with a few locked behind alien queens you must defeat, which brings us to Regicide. Kill every queen during a campaign. 7 queens are present in Dark Descent and they are brutal. 4 are mandatory for the story and the other 3 are optional. All drop the aforementioned Xenotech. I had a lot of fun taking these down. Setting up sentries and a kill zone to lure the queens out is satisfying even with all the chaos happening around them. There are so many cool miscellaneous trophies to get, with none of them being majorly difficult, and it's things you'll be doing anyway. A lot of them are for looking after your squad, for example, securing a Marine for damn dude you gotta lose some weight. Saving a Marine from bleeding to death, rescuing a Marine from being abducted away, which is just brutal when it happens. The animation is so cool.
Kill it! Kill it! Incoming! You like that, huh?
And then leveling all Marine classes to level 10 for several trophies. There's good variety in the classes. You'll be relying on your medics to heal, the sergeants to reduce stress and generate command points, the technicians to remotely hack, and the smart gunners to suppress. And later on, the recons to snipe the lone roaming alien drones which love to alert the hive to your location.
Got you in my sights. Yeah! Don't mess with me!
Every level up lets you offset all the negative traits with excellent positive ones. More accuracy, less stress, extra inventory space, better class abilities. You will have some ultimate badasses by the end of the game. One last thing about the campaign is the death clock. Around mission 5 or 6, the story introduces a countdown, meaning if you take too long to complete missions, the campaign ends and you fail. You'll need to restart. You need a day to rest after returning from a mission, and some daily events prevent you from launching a mission. Daily events are randomized and could be something like investigate a signal, gain 300 resource and an engineer, but lose deployment for the day. It's mostly harder than it sounds, but it still caught me off guard. It essentially prevents farming resources, daily events, and xenosamples used to activate Xenotech. It's cool for the story and doesn't feel shoehorned in, but the in-game mechanic of it is just another spinning plate of stress added to everything else you've got going on. Marines can get injured and need 5 days to heal. Marines can get stressed and need therapy for 3 days. A lot happens in this game that stalls progress. All this inconvenience, the odds really feel against you, and I think that champions the aliens feeling I was looking for. The hopelessness, the stress, and the dread are so spot on. You always feel like there's not enough time, you're under-prepared, and that you're just being hunted constantly. And then there's nightmare difficulty. Aliens are smarter, more health, more relentless than ever. But hopefully, by this point, you're accustomed to what you can get away with, and along with your max level marines that you're allowed to bring over from the previous playthrough, means they all have their upgrades and levels. Hopefully, this difficulty shouldn't give you too much trouble with them by your side, along with the other tactics you should be using, like taking full advantage of the APC to deal with onslaughts. The APC can be called to points around the map, automatically killing everything in its path. There's even a trophy for running over an alien. You are safe in the APC and mostly by it. I started to think of it as a very large sentry gun, and leaving the comfort of its side is heartbreakingly scary, as the objectives are always deep into some kind of security complex or bloody reactor that the Marines want to visit. Dealing with lone aliens with your recon and their silenced longshot meant I could zip in and out of places with ease as long as I had line of sight and not be detected whilst clearing a path. Choosing when to rest efficiently and ensuring I had traits on my marines that would heal and supply ammo every time I did rest really helped. And if you got all the collectibles in the last run, you don't need to go out of your way to gather them this time, because all that does is put you in more situations to alert the hive, and you do not want that. Still go for the Xenotechs, which means killing the queens, especially the ones that add extra armor and prevent acid damage if you have armor. Acid damage is a real bitch. Before completing the final mission to pop the final 3 trophies, I had to focus on a strange misc trophy that I should tell you about. Have a marine with at least 2 prosthetics. Basically, you need a marine to take enough explosion damage so their arms and legs get blown off. The easiest way to do this is with some good old-fashioned friendly fire. During mission 4, you unlock the dropship's barrage that you can launch using command points. You just get a marine to stand in the blast radius a bit. Couple of things can happen. 1, they'll die. 2, they'll go unconscious. And thirdly, if you're lucky, one of their limbs will get blown off. You secure him, pop him in the APC, then in the medbay at base you can assign them surgery to get them up and running again. Rinse and repeat the dropship barrage for a second time until they lose another limb. You'll definitely want to save before. Then when you assign the second surgery for the second prosthetic, the trophy should pop. I found this strategy from this guy's video, so thank you very much for that. This was such a satisfying platinum and is up there with some of my other favourites. But as an Aliens game, I hold this and Alien Isolation in the highest regard. Dark Descent isn't perfect, far from it. It has this AA game feeling sometimes. The human enemies I could do without, they're really troublesome. And sometimes the voice acting for the Marines could be hit and miss.
A glorious death!
But the stuff it delivers on, as an Aliens fan, makes playing this a no-brainer. I really hope this video convinces people to pick it up and give it a chance. But that is about it. Alien Romulus is out on Blu-ray, Isolation is getting a sequel, and there's even an Aliens VR game coming out soon, which I'm going to stay far away from. I don't fancy having a heart attack anytime soon. I couldn't be happier with my favourite franchise right now. If you enjoyed your time here, why don't you give that subscribe button a massive face hug? I hope to tackle some more Alien games soon, but take it easy in the meantime, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.